So today is the second day of our FDP program, and we'll be conducting the program in 2 sessions. After 1 hour, we'll be having a short break, and after that, we'll be continuing the session. So let's welcome the resource person of the day, Dr. Sunil Job, to take on the session. Sir, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Saliga. Am I audible, Saliga?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. So, good evening once again. Now we are in the second day of our 7 days journey. So actually, this 7 days program actually is a very interesting program because we have started from the zero level. I mean the basement level. So last day we had a lot of reflections on Bloom's taxonomy, and obviously you would have understood to how that is how useful that the Bloom's taxonomy is for the teachers to understand the students' learning graph, as well as to pick up the learning environment, which will be comfortable for the specific students as well as the content. And also, in the previous segment, we have said that the Bloom's taxonomy will be the basement for the outcome-based education, because we'll be using Bloom's taxonomy at all the phases, That is in formulation of the curriculum, or when we go into the interactive phase where we really interact with the students for generating the learning experiences, and also at the assessment phase. This will be a vital importance. That will be a basic criteria for the students, for the teachers to access the students' performance, etc. So today we will be going into the first phase, where we'll be going with the introduction of OBE. And I told that this is going to be a very wonderful sections all these 7 days, because we are moving from the very basic level to the topmost level, because the tail end of these sections will be very enriching, because there will be a lot of these teachers who have implemented this outcome-based education in a full swing. They will be coming and interacting with you, sharing their experiences. And also we have got many industrial experts where they will be speaking out on the outcome-based education, because the outcome-based education cannot be developed in an isolated environment. It always needs some bridging between this academics and industry. There should not be any gap. So obviously the inputs that we get from the industrial experts and those persons who have been working in this dimension of, as Dr. Mendes has said, that Suresh Nambudiri has been doing a lot of research in this domain. He's basically an industrialist. So all these inputs will be of great value. So definitely all these 7 days, you will be gaining a very rich experiences throughout. So as Salega has mentioned that this section will be having in 2 sections. Actually, our schedule will be approximately about 2.5 hours section. So we have compartmentalized this today's section into 2. So the first, I'll be giving you a section on introduction to OBE. So there we will be just going through some significant thoughts on what is the importance and why there is a need for OBE. We'll be just going through the building blocks of OBE, and we'll be just going and drilling into each components of the building block, and we'll be realizing what exactly the building block include. So that's something very interesting. And there also we'll be just trying to understand about how we could create a course outcome. So what is the basic format of creating course outcomes? So that will be there in our first segment. And after 5-10 minutes break, we'll be continuing with the assessments, where we will be focusing on the significance of mapping. That is something very important in an outcome-based perspective. So we'll be just analyzing the significance of mapping of the different levels of outcomes. So that will be doing in the this second section of today. And probably tomorrow, Dr. Mentis will be giving you an explicit section on how we can scale the outcomes of the how we can compute the final assessments of the students in terms of COs as well as program outcomes. And probably he will be just also introducing the automated tool for assessments, so that being a computer experts, that will be of big value to us. So I think now we have about 169 participants are there. So I think we can just pass to our today's section, the first section of today, that is on the introduction to OBE. I've got few slides to be shared with you. So let me go on with the slide. Some chats are coming up. It's not audible. So once again, I want to confirm whether my sound is okay. Can anyone unmute and say that it is okay? It is okay. Okay. I think so. Some chat is coming up that not audible. So I think it will be some problem from your end. Please check your network connectivities. Those who are not getting the audio rightly. So we are going to sharing. Because of the bandwidth problem, I'll just unmute my video and then okay, so we are just entering into the second section, and probably this will be the first of section when we consider the outcome-based education, because lastly we have been discussing about Bloom's taxonomy, because that could be considered as the basement on which the structure of the outcome-based education is built on. So let me pass on to these slides. Let us check the agenda of this section. We'll be trying to find answer for two questions, because if you want to be really involved in something, you have to find the answer what and why of that. So obviously we will be first checking with what and why of outcome-based education. Then we'll be just analyzing the structure of the outcome-based education in terms of its building block. So when I say that building blocks, we will be just analyzing the different blocks which is there in the outcome-based education, like program educational objectives, graduate attributes, PO, PSOs. So all these things constitute the building block of outcome-based education. So we'll be just drilling a little more detail into these concepts. And the most highlight of this section will be just introducing you on a small formula for writing the outcome, because that's something very important. Because in an outcome-based educational environment, everything will be centered around outcome, and all activities will be constructively aligned to the outcome. So obviously, writing outcomes is of most important. So I'm just sharing with you an formula for writing an outcome. And also, obviously, we are, because most of us will be having the outcome which has been already written. So obviously, a quality check for a good outcome will be of something very important. So we will also just share with you some criteria for a quality check of a good outcome. And also, I'll be detailing on the task that we have to do with LMS, because LMS is really rich experiences for the real hands-on experiences you can enjoy in that LMS platform. So those who have got the LMS credentials, please make the maximum utilization of that, because there is a lot of materials regarding outcome-based education is being showcased there, like white paper in outcome-based education, in assessments, then the OBE manuals, then a lot of activities, task, quiz, likewise, a number of things are there. So really will enjoy it. So those who have the credentials of LMS make use of it to the maximum. So let's go with let's go to answer the first two questions: what and why of OBE. So now I'm sharing with you a slide. Actually, this is something that I have got from an higher education journal, Enhancing University Education. So this slide depicts the status of the students who have completed a professional degree program. So this gives that is, this slide shows the status of the students who have completed a professional program, that is an engineering program. So I would like to draw your attention to this slide and just to analyze what is there in this slide. And I would like to ask you one question: what can you say about the result? What can you say about the result of this program? So this is the something related to the result of the pass outs, those who have gone completed the program. Probably it is a BTech program. Those who completed the program. So what can you say about the result regarding the pass percentage? Is it good or is it something bad? So what is the percentage of the pass? You can put it in the chat so that I am just monitoring the chat. So let us interact in the chat. Okay, 84% I got one. 84% is there. Do you have any change that pass percentage? Is it 85, 84? On top also, yeah, that is the pass percentage is this is the x-axis which shows the percentage of students passed. So up to here, the students, the percentage of students who have not passed, and from here to here, the percentage of students have passed. So obviously, the 84 is there, but there is on the top there is 7% also. So totally 91 percentage students has passed. Definitely for a professional college, 91 percentage of pass is a very good result, because obviously we know that when the students after completing the BTech program, they will be most of them will be having many supplementary papers which cannot be taken, which could be which cannot be considered as a pass. So obviously, this is a very good result from the point of view of the college when we consider the academical aspect of it. But you can just see there is a y-axis going up. What does that signifies? That is, this y-axis says that up to here, the students, the percentage of students who are not able to perform according to what the course is intended to perform is that is the percentage of the students who could perform the task related to their domain is only 7%. So rest 84% and the failed person, they are not capable of performing in the area on which they are trained. So this is the fallacy of the educational system. And I think this is what we were trying to bring about. And this is what in the previous day the chairman from the Red Hat GLS was remarking, Ramesh Patmanabhan from GLS. He was also saying this thing that most of the students, we are not directly able to absorb them into their workspaces. We have to train them, or we are not getting the correct, the right inputs into our workspaces. So this is something very, very the fallacy of the education system, which is a very pity when we say those students who are coming out of the educational institutions are not able to perform well in the trade which they are prepared for. So here we could say that it is at this context that the outcome-based education becomes very significant. So outcome-based education is an methodology where we are trying to transfer all these red area and this blue area into this green area. You can just imagine that situation. If all the students passing, coming out of the educational institutions are passing and they're able to perform well in the trade on which they are being prepared. Isn't it quite well and interesting? So that is the importance of outcome-based education. So in the outcome-based education, what we emphasize is that the students should not be just merely academical scholars. We want them to be well and all-round developed scholars who are who have got academical expertise and also who are able to perform well in whatever trade that they are in. So you could see that the outcome-based education has got not only an x-axis going in the academical dimensions, you can see a y-axis going up in the dimensions of a bunch of competencies. So this will be, the y-axis will be a bunch of competencies like the bunch of competencies like problem solving ability, the critical thinking, social accountability, teamwork, leadership, project management skill. Likewise, a number of competencies could be considered as a y-axis. The students should be prepared not only in the academical dimensions, they also should be equipped in the competency level which enable them to be successful in their career as well as in their life space, as well as to be a productive member of the society and also to live in harmony with the environment. So this is what the outcome-based education focuses. So outcome-based education want to transfer the entire inputs from these three quadrants into this green quadrant and make them potential as a professional academician, professional, as well as to be a responsible and accountable citizen. So that is the importance of outcome-based education. So definitely, this is something very, very important. We don't want the students to be just theoreticians or just having some academical. We want them to apply these things into the workspaces. At the same time, we want them to be creative thinkers, very competent in communication, communicating or negotiating with their clients. We want them to be problem solvers. We want them to be very creative. We want them to be accountable to the society. We want them to be having a very good ethics and morality. Likewise, a bunch of competencies also is given importance. So this is the significance of outcome-based education. So to put it in a very simple way, that is, I have just given a small statement regarding outcome-based education. So you can just read this red one. What is given in this red? That is, outcome-based education is a model that deviates from the traditional focus. Probably we are more concerned with how much marks that they score for each papers. From traditional focus on what the institution provides the students in favor of making the students demonstrate what they know. That is, they should have an academical knowledge. That is, their y-axis should be strong and they should be capable of doing. That is the x-axis as well as the y-axis, which has been pictured in the previous slide. Both these axes to be strong. That is, y-axis should will depict what they know, and x-axis, the x-axis will depict what they know, the academical inputs, and y-axis will help them to attain competencies, which is makes them successful to do. So to know and capable to do on completion of the program. So this is the focus of outcome-based education. We have to integrate both the knowledge as well as the skills so that they can be a successful persons in their life as well as in their career. So obviously, since we are moving from the very base level, I would like to share with you the basic principles of outcome-based education. Obviously, at least the first two things you should know. That is, the outcome-based education is based on these four principles. One is clarity of focus. That is, the outcome-based education brings clarity to the educational environment. Why I say that? Clarity of focus. I will just give you a small instance. That is, suppose if you are going to build a house, That is, we are going to build a house. So obviously, or when we are planning to build a house, the first thing that comes into consideration is that what is my budget? Okay, say that I am just trying to build a house which cost an optimal amount of about 40 lakhs. Okay, that's okay, an optimal amount of 40 lakhs. And obviously, I am having about 20 cents of land is there with me, and I have got some expectations, some objectives that I should have three bedrooms. Okay, one drawing room, then one room for a prayer room, a puja room should be there, a kitchen. Likewise, I am having some calculations, some objectives that this should be the structure of my house, and all the bedroom should be bath attached. Likewise, I have got a number of idea regarding how the building should be like. So what I do is that I will go to an architect and I will communicate my idea with this architect. So both of them will discuss on different things. Okay, do you want the building to be a first floor or two floor, two story? Okay, then I will say that, okay, I want some landscaping so that I can make some vegetable gardens like that. So they will be having a very good discussion. But at that point of time, we have been discussing in order to build the house. The objective is to build the house. But at that point of time, what will be the final structure, the final design, and how the house is going to look like is not clear at that point of time, right? Because we have got very explicit objectives about the budget, about the number of rooms that we needed, what should be the plinth area of that. Everything will be discussed with the architect, but still we are not sure how the final house will look like. Now, if the same scenario, if I am taking this architect to a house of my dream and I am showing this architect to a house which is already there, and if I'm asking them, I want a house exactly like that, then will there be a clarity regarding what will be the final format of the house? Definitely. So you are pointing to a house, my house should be a ditto and exactly like this, isn't it? So for the architect as well as for you, for this person who are going to construct the house, the clarity will be there. The final, the house should be there, so they can get the front elevation about the floor designs. Everything is clear, and after construction, the house should look exactly like that. This is the outcome-based education. You are pointing out what should be the final product after completion. That is the house which I am pointing out, isn't it? The first instance is that my objective is to build a house. I don't know what is the final format. So this is the transformation. Before we were having objective-based instructions. The teachers are having objectives. Now that is been replaced by output-based. We are pointing out this is going to be the output on completion of the program. Just like pointing out to the house, just like giving a catalog that this is going to be the specification of product. I say product because education is a process, and the students who comes out of the education stream should be the product. So what the product will be capable of performing. You are pointing it just like pointing it to the house that this will be the final format. So you are just giving the product specifications that on completion of this book or on completion of the program, what the students are capable of doing, you are pointing out. The outcome is fixed first. So when you point that house to the architect, what will he do? He will begin from the end point, then he will plan downwards. That is, he will design downwards and he will reach at the first instance of planning. He will create a plan so that the final format, the final house that evolved out of the plan will be exactly like the output that you have pointed out. The same thing is the outcome-based education. You should plan what should be the final specification of the product. The students who passes out of the educational system, either from a course level or at a program level, what is the final specification that you have to fix first? And on the basis of that, you have to plan your curriculum and ensure that this curriculum will take the students to the end point that you have already showcased as the product specification or the outcome which you have listed prior. Did you get the clarity? So this is the outcome-based education. It gives a clarity to the stakeholders. The students will able to know, okay, if I join this course, I'll be able to do all these things. The clarity is there. The teachers are having clarity. I want to take the students to that destination. So what are the roadmap that I have to adopt? Roadmap in the sense, what are the methodology? What are the strategies that I have to adopt? Because by the end of the program, or by the end of the course, the student should be able to perform as said in the catalog, like all these outcomes that you have showcased. And another thing is that high expectations, because in the Bloom's taxonomy slides, if you're remembering what I've said, that Bloom has very specifically said that anybody can learn. So don't worry, we have to make the students pass through the different possible environment of learning so that they can get the real-time experiences so that they excel like anything. So high expectation of students and expanded opportunities, not to curtail their activities in the theoretical book alone. Integrate it with the practical possibilities, or integrate with the industrial environment. That is why I told that in the course of our sections, you will be interacting with the industrial experts, their opinion. Those industrial experts who have been academicians also is interacting with you, and they'll be and some of the global these certification programs is being built exactly on the outcome-based education. They'll be sharing that idea. So all these things will be very rich. So I think that you got a clarity regarding this. So now I am just showing you, this is the, what could you say, that the building block of outcome-based education. So if an institution has implemented outcome-based education, definitely every institution will be having a vision and mission, because that vision and mission will decide the modus of operandi of that particular institution, how the institution will be performing. So, all the other things which is there in the building blocks are outcomes. And there is only one odd man there, one program educational objective. So, when we are formulating the outcome-based education in its real sense, the first thing that the institution should take into consideration is that they have to ask this question: what is the program educational objective? Only one objective is there in this scenario. That is, what is that? What does that signify? That is, after completion of the programs, the students will be going into the society as well as into the career space. So what they are expected to do in the society and after completion of the program, that is the program educational goals or objectives, we could say. Because we are only considering about first few years, because after leaving the institutions, the first few years, that is the first 2 or 3 years, the major influence on these students who have passed out will be the inputs that they got from the colleges. But in later on, after 10 to 20 years, their life experiences and the other experiences will will define the personality, will have an impact on the personality. So the initial 3 to 4 years, the principal or the major influence will be what they get from the education institutions. So while we are going to implement outcome-based education, the first few years after completion of this program, like 2-3 years, what the students are expected to perform and do has to be, firstly, they have to showcase. That is, after leaving that institutions, obviously, they have to get into some career, or they have to become an entrepreneur, or they have to live as a worthy member of the society, or they have to go for higher educations like that. We have to set goals after leaving, what the student should be able to, where the student should fix after this in the few years, where the students will be performing, what the students are expected to perform. That has to be taken into consideration. So that is a program education objectives. So in order to make them perform exactly according to the program educational objectives, we have to give them some takeaways from this college. That is, takeaways in the form of the communication skills, the takeaways in the form of problem solving ability, the takeaways in the form of leadership quality, takeaways in the form of social accountability, takeaway in the form of ethics, which will enable them to perform well in accordance with what you have planned. So you have to equip the students with some competencies. So that is what is showcased here. The program outcomes and program specific outcomes are defined from the graduate attributes. So it is from the graduate attribute we will be defining the program outcomes and the program specific outcomes. So I think this is clear. So the first thing we have to consider that what the students should be able to do after leaving the college. That is where they have to go. What is the goal? And what are the graduate attributes that the student should gain from the college? What are the attributes that the student should gain from the college for the realization of their objective? Objective is to fit into the living space, the career space after leaving the program. So what are the graduate attributes that the student have to accumulate from the college? So obviously, the program educational objectives will decide what are the attributes they have to get from the college. And how do they get these graduate attributes? Suppose if the graduate attributes includes communication skill, suppose if the graduate attribute includes the expertise in handling medias, or the graduate expertise or leadership quality or creative thinking. So if you are considering these are the graduate attributes, how do we provide it to the students? It is through the different curriculum which we provide in terms of different courses. So obviously, firstly, we will be setting the program educational objectives. For the actualization of the program educational objectives, what are the takeaways or what are the graduate attributes that you should give to the students for realization of the program educational objectives will be designed. And how, that is, what all programs will enable them to develop these graduate attributes will be considered, and that programs will be included as the different courses for the particular specific program that you are designing. So you will be including 4 or 5 courses in one semester, and there may be 6 semesters for the completion of the degree program. And if it is according to the national policy, probably there will be 4 years. So there will be 8 semesters or 4 years. So you'll be populating it with the different courses that equip the students with the needed graduate attributes. So now you can see that while you are developing a course in the lines of OBE, we have to come from top to down, because it is the program educational objective will decide what all competencies or what all graduate attributes that you have to provide to the students. And it is from these graduate attributes or competencies we'll be selecting the different courses to be included in the program, so that the students will be prepared in these competencies. So you have to come from top to bottom. And finally, after the end of the program, you will be calculating the attainment of to what extent that they have attained these graduate attributes, because the objectives are futuristic, isn't it? Objectives are futuristic. That could be really ascertained only after few years after they leave, whether they are able to successfully get into the career, or whether they're successful in that we could only know after 3 to 4 years after they have left the college, whether they have got an employment, a career, whatever it may be. So at the point of leaving the college, what we are trying to that is measure is the attainment of the graduate attributes. That is, to what level they have attained in the level of communication skill, problem solving ability, all these things. That is what we are going to estimate. So how do we estimate it? It is estimated not directly. We are estimated on the basis of the different course level activities that we are giving to the students as a part of the course. So the attainment or the assessment should go from bottom to top. So this is the course level objectives, and this course level objectives will decide what all graduate attribute to be included, and these graduate attribute will decide what all courses should be included for the program, and these courses will be having a different assessment activities that we do along with the course. Probably the final examinations, midterm examinations, assignments, seminars, creation of portfolios, creation of documentaries, industrial visits, projects. Likewise, a number of activities will be included for each courses. So we will be assessing these activities, the performance of the students in these activities. On the basis of the performance, we will be calculating the level of attainment of CO related to these courses. And on the basis of this, we'll be calculating the level of attainment of PUs that is been considered for the program. So the attainment goes from bottom to top. So that is the building block. So now you got an idea. That is the program educational objective. And in accordance with the program educational objectives, we set graduate attributes. At that, it is that graduate attributes we verbally put in the form of statement of POs and PSOs. Okay, so at this point of time, I am only mentioning graduate attributes, and these graduate attributes are obtained, are actualized through the different courses that we are providing to the students. Okay, so that is the building block that we have discussed in the previous slide, and this is the paradigm shift in the according to the outcome-based education. So what can we refer here? So in the traditional system of education, the maximum priority is given to the academics alone, isn't it? The student should be more an academical expert. That is what the academical performance is considered as the scale of the success in the higher education. That was what we were having in the traditional system. But now we want the students to be multitaskers. That is, they should be academically sound. Definitely, that cannot be kept away. But at the same time, they should be having creative ideas. They should have updated with the latest technologies. They should have proper project management skills. They should have proper communication skills for communicating in their workspaces, or to negotiate in the workspaces. They should have proper time management skills. Likewise, they should have a multifarious skills, which is essential to be successful in the life, as well as in the career, as well as in the society. So this is what the outcome-based education focuses on. So we need an all-round development of the graduates, not only in an academical phase, but also in the multiple competencies that is essential for a successful life in his personal life, as well as in his career space. So it is these competencies that we are showcasing it as graduate attributes that we have shown, that I've shown it in the previous slides. So not only the academical attributes, but also the graduate attributes. So now going little more into the program educational objective to make things clear. So this is the program educational objectives. We know that the program educational objective is what the students are capable of doing after leaving the college. So these are the broad statement that focuses on what the students are expected to attain. Expected, that means futuristic. It is objective. Objectives are expectations. What the students are expected to attain within first few years after completion of the program. Why first few years? I already mentioned, because in long run, their life experiences will be the bigger influences in their life. So the first few years, what they have from the college will be leading them to a greater extent. So this is the broad statement that focuses on what the students are expected to attain in the first few years on completion of the program. So and this is estimated using indirect assessment normally from the employer, alumni, etc. Usually 3. Okay. So as I've told that, while the student pass out, we will not be able to measure the program educational objectives. Only after completion of the 3 to 4 years, we can collect a survey from the employers who have employed the students or from alumni, how the students are performing. That gives a valid indicator into the program educational objectives, whether the program educational objectives that we have set is going in the right way. So that is futuristic. Okay, so now I have just given, this is some dummy statement, right? The first one is, I have just taken, normally the program educational objectives, we will just, it is a broader statement which encompasses a big area, right? So normally we will take 3 to 4 statements as program educational objectives. And this program educational objectives are developed from the college point of view. The college are creating it. So what is this? The first statement, you can just read that. The graduate will be able to demonstrate competencies and leadership to perform, to become professional, employee, and entrepreneur, leading to a successful career. So one of the important objectives of a graduate program is to fix them in a career space, either as a professional or as an employee employed under an employer, or as an entrepreneur who is capable of doing employment with others. Like, okay, so they have to be placed in a career space or pursue higher education. Sometimes they may be interested to go for these PG program or higher education program or research or some other extended continuing learning. So they have to be equipped for that. So that is one of the objective which we are focusing. This is a demo. Second one, the graduate will be able to demonstrate commitment towards the preservation of environment and sustainable development of the society. That is one I've just put as a demonstration. So another program, another objective which the college focuses that he have to live in and along with the society. So he have to be a worthy member of the society. So he have to become more and more social accountability. So we have to give some graduate attributes that make him a worthy member of the society, or an accountable person of the society, or a protective member of the society. So a social accountability, as well as he has to be having a better attitude towards the conservation of environment, because we are living in an environment where there is a lot of environmental challenges, because we are only one generation and there are a lot of generations to come after us. So we should develop the students the consciousness that the environmental, whatever development programs that we are in, it should not destroy the environment. Like that, we have to create, and that is how to put up with the physical environment, about the importance of the green. Likewise, we can create. And also, the graduate will pursue lifelong learning to generate innovative solution practices using research and complex. So that's something very important, especially in the computer science domain, because whatever is latest now will be outdated after 6 months. So to be successful in the platform, we have to be updated. We have to keep in rapport with the developments of the technologies in the society. So we have to cultivate, that is, we should give them, we should teach them how to fish rather than giving them fish. So how to fish will is a lifelong that is help that we are giving to the students. That is, we should help them to update the latest by their own through self-learning. So that is something very important, because being successful in a technological space, especially in the current scenario, they should be lifelong learners. So this lifelong learning skills has to be developed. So that competency is something very important to make them successful in this space. So I've just created three dummy program educational objectives. So likewise, the institutions can create the program educational objectives according to the nature of the program. Okay, so this is some generic three program educational objectives that we have created. So now I told that it is the program educational objective that decide what should be the competencies that we should give to the students for the actualization of these program educational objectives. So obviously, the competencies we can name it as the graduate attributes. So what all graduate attributes we should provide to the students for the actualization of these program educational objectives? That is the second stage where we have to plan while formulating the curriculum. So now I've just taken the first program educational objective. What is it? The graduate will be able to demonstrate competency and leadership to become professional, employee, and entrepreneur, leading to successful life or career. Suppose if I'm taking that part, I want to equip the students for a better career. So what competencies should I provide to them? Isn't it? What competencies I should provide to them? Can you mention one or two competencies? Suppose you are preparing the students for a career. What competencies you should equip them for becoming successful in the career? You can just put. What are competencies? Okay, I'm just waiting for the in the chat. Okay, the ability to work in a team, definitely, because the students will be involved in many projects, so they have to work in the team, isn't it? They should have communication skills to interact with the client stakeholders. Likewise, very good. So it is the program educational objectives that decide what are the competencies essential for the actualization of these educational objectives. So these competencies are that we call as the graduate attribute. Okay, so it is very clear. So our intention is to prepare the students to be successful in life. So I want to, what are the takeaways that the students should take away from our institutions in terms of competency? These are the graduate attributes. So definitely, what we could say, the graduate attributes, it is from the competencies that decide the graduate attributes. And this graduate attribute written in form of a verbal statement could be considered as the program level outcome. Suppose if I say communication skill, what does the communication skill imply? The students should be able to read, write, comprehend, use the modern technological medias to communicate with the stakeholders in the workspace, communicate with the society, communicate with the members. Likewise, I can elaborate it, communication skill. So the graduate attribute communication skill become what? A program. So the embryo of the program outcome is the graduate attribute. Suppose if I take the problem solving skills. So the students should be able to apply the engineering principles or the algorithms, mathematical concepts for solving the problems related to their workspace. So that problem solving, which was considered as a graduate attribute, is written verbally in the form of what the student should be able to do. That becomes a program outcome. So the first form of the program outcome will be the graduate attributes. So now we understood that. First we will the creating the this program educational objective, which will be done by the institution level only. The teachers don't have to do anything with that. And on the basis of that, the institution will decide what are the graduate attributes which should be taken by the college. So these are the set of graduate attributes which are given by the UGC, like disciplinary knowledge, communication skill, critical thinking, problem solving, analytical reasoning, research related skills, cooperation and teamwork, scientific reasoning, like that. And the UGC has given the freedom that you can select any number of graduate attributes according to your program. So the freedom is there. And even something which is not mentioned here, they can also include it, which they think is appropriate for the program. So these graduate attributes, are something which when written in the form of a statement, what the students are able to perform on the basis of this graduate attribute become a program outcome. Okay. And this is something which is related to the engineering colleges. So engineering colleges, the NBA, the National Board of Accreditation, has already given them 12 set of graduate attributes, which every engineering college should adopt uniformly. Why? Because India has signed the Washington Accord and is one of the member of that Washington Accord family. So all the members of the Washington Accord has said that we could include these set of 12 graduate attributes as the program outcomes for the graduate engineering colleges. So the thing is that those engineering colleges which is accredited by NBA, the Tier 1 engineering colleges accredited by NBA, those students who are studying in those colleges can continue the education in the other the colleges of the other countries which comes under the Washington Accord, like USA, UK, like that, developed countries, without any other concurrence or transcript or anything like that. Or they can get employment or continue education like that. So that is a global level standardization as well as a mobility. So they have accepted that they will be adopting these graduate attributes and they'll be adopting outcome-based education. So what happens is that there is a global level standardization, so that which helps the students for mobility. And it is from this point the other arts and science colleges and other professional colleges are trying to adopt the outcome-based education. And now from the new educational policy 2020, it has become mandatory that all the colleges should go in the slides of outcome-based education. So here, if we just analyze here, the first the first 5 attributes are something related to the technical capabilities. So these technical capabilities will remain different from trade. If the student is an computer science student, their technical ability will be different. And if the student is a civil engineering graduate, their technical ability will be different. The engineering knowledge will be different. The problem analysis will be different. But this part will be common to all. That is the engineer and the society. That is the social accountability, environment sustainability, ethics, individual and teamwork, communication, project management and skill. All these are the common attributes. So likewise, in the other colleges, apart from the engineering colleges, we can consider the program level outcomes into 2. The first part, which is common to all the programs. If in a college, if there are this BCA, then BBA, then other arts and science subjects, there are some competencies which is common to all, like communication skill, then individual and teamwork, then ethics, then all some the social accountability. All these things are common to all, irrespective of the programs. So this part, that is those graduate attributes which is common to all the program, could be considered as the program outcome. But there will be some competencies which is specific to those subjects, like this technical capabilities. Technical capabilities in the arts and science colleges, we will be having some competencies which are specific to with respect to the program. So an MCA program, the BCA program will be having some separate competencies related to the discipline. BBA will be having this something related to the management, etc. BCom students will be having something specific. So all the programs will be having something common, which may call as program outcomes generally. And some outcomes which are domain specific or program specific could be considered as program specific outcome. So we have got two levels of outcomes. So the program outcomes are some of the attributes which are common to all the students who are studying in a college, like communication skill, leadership quality, environmental consciousness, leadership, the teamwork, likewise social accountability, ethics. Likewise, there are some graduate attributes which everyone should be equally having. So these graduate attributes could be termed as program outcomes. And there are graduate attributes which are specific to the programs. Like the management students will be more interested in the management-based skills. The BCS students will be more interested, should be more aligned to the technical capabilities of handling computers and programs, database, etc. So a commerce level students will be aligned with these accounting like skills. A science-based students will be having some domain-specific competencies which is there. So these the program out, that is the graduate attributes could be categorized into common attributes as well as domain-specific attributes, which may call it program outcomes and program-specific outcomes. Now it is time for us to check what are the content in this, what are the nature of the content in these graduate attribute or program outcomes. That is, they refers to knowledge, they refers to skills, and they refers to attitudes. Okay, so in the program outcomes, there will be knowledge, like what can, if I'm just going here, disciplinary knowledge. It is something related to the knowledge related to the different subjects. Communication skills. This is related to the skill level knowledge. Then we should have this environmental consciousness, the problem solving ability. These are the communication skills that we should. Then we have moral and ethical awareness. So this is that will decide our attitude. Okay. So these are so the program outcomes can be in the form of knowledge. The program outcome can be in the form of skills, and the program outcomes can be in the form of attitudes. So actually, the knowledge, attitude, and skills are the three pillars of education. That is why in the Bloom's taxonomy, in the previous day, what we have discussed, that the knowledge is something related to the intellectual level. The skills are something related to the motor skills, and the attitudes are something related to our appreciations, our value systems, etc. Okay, so the POs that we are accumulating in an OB scenario will be in the form of knowledge, skills, and attitudes. And PSOs are nothing, are specific, the domain specific, that will be related to the disciplinary knowledge in detail. That is how to apply it likewise. So that is the PSOs. So now we can just give you a scenario. That is, this is an institution which has adopted for adopted outcome-based education. They will be able to assess the students not only in the subject level attainment, they can be also assessed in terms of these PO. So we have just said that the assessment should be made not only in the lines of the academical attainment. That is, academical attainment will give you how much marks they score for different subjects. But this will give you an explicit look into how much level that they have attained with respect to the different PUs which has been considered for the program. So here we say that disciplinary knowledge, the student is having 2.3. Okay, so this is a scale of a 4-point scale from 0, 1, 2, 3. And this is the communication skill out of 3, 1.8. Critical thinking out of 3, it is 2.7. So likewise, we are able to scale their competency level attainment. So actually, in an outcome-based education, what we are focusing is that we are assessing not only the academical attainment, but also to what level of attainment that they have attained with respect to those POs that we have taken for the program. So this is something very important. If you are able to provide something like this, the attainment scale like this will be like an authentic profile. But it has got its own drawbacks, because if you are not making the real-time assessments, if the assessments is not valid, then definitely that will backfire on the institutions. Suppose if it is a communication skill, you are putting that it is out of 3, the student is having 2.7, and if the student is not even able to draft a correspondence, then definitely that is a backmark, not for the student but for the institutions. So at the initial level, what they are doing is that they'll be fixing some level for the attainment, and just ensuring that whether the student has attained. So suppose if I'm taking that 60% is the level of the attainment, where I could say that they have attained that outcome, then I could say that okay, out of three, then 1.8 will be the qualifying mark. So those students who have qualified more than 1.8 could be considered as they have attained the CO. So now at the first stage, we are only calculating whether they have attained the CO by fixing a threshold for the level of attainment, like the 60% or 70% of whatever it may be. So in later stages, we'll be able to give it in this way, which will be an authentic profile. Because if you're preparing a resume, what we are showcasing is that what are our competencies, and if the institutions are able to give something like this, this will be a very that will be a very much important for the students as well as the stakeholders, provided this should be valid. Okay, and you can just represent it numerically, or you can use a heat map. That is, those who have got more than 70%, okay, let it go green. Between 70 and 50, let it go in this color. And those who have got below 50%, it can be red. So you can just present these values instead of these scores. We can present it in the form of the heat map also. So this is what the final product or the final calculations of the outcome-based education should that is we have to attain. So we will be discussing about POs, and we found that the PO is directly connected to program educational objectives. So the program educational objective will decide what all should be the graduate attribute, and these graduate attributes are attained through some courses that we give as a part of the program. So every courses should have a course level outcome. So every courses will be having a course level outcome. And what does that mean? That is what the students are capable of doing after completion of that course. As I've told that, what is the catalog? What will be the catalog of student who have completed this course? Okay, the students will be able to perform this one, etc. So these are the course outcome which is pre-fixed initially before the start of the course. Okay, likewise, if there are first semester, if there are 6 courses, and if there are total if there are 3-year program, there will be 6 semesters. So of total there will be 36 courses. So every courses will be actually streamlined for the attainment of any of these POs, one or more of the POs. So obviously, every courses will be linked with the program outcomes that we have prepared in advance. So it is from the program outcomes we are actually selecting what all courses will helpful for us for the development of these program outcomes. So the course outcomes are the resultant knowledge and skills the students acquire at the end of the course. So the course level outcome will be a catalog for the of the catalog of the students who successfully complete the particular course. They will be able to do such and such things. And now we are in a stage where what should be the structural format of the course outcome. The COs are major domain specific and written using an action verb which should be specific, measurable, and demonstrated. This is something very important. This is why we have started with Bloom's taxonomy. So if you want to write a course outcome, the major component of the course outcome will be an action verb, what the students are able to do, and also the learning statement, that is the statement to which the particular part of the learning statement, which means the subject which is related, that is the learning statement. So a course outcome will contains two components. One, the part of the course that you are teaching and what level of attainment you are making with respect to the particular course. So a course outcome will be having two things, and in that, one which is essential is an action, and this action verb will be collected from this Bloom's taxonomy. So now we will just give you a formula for writing a course outcome. So a course outcome, as I've told, that it should have two components. One, an action verb, and other, a learning statement. Action verb plus a learning statement. What does this action verb shows? The action verb shows that what the students are capable of doing with respect to this learning statement. That should be the format of the course outcome. So actually, I'm handling one of the papers in operational research. So here I can just say a course outcome related to the particular subject, because the optimization techniques, the operational research deals with optimization techniques. Optimization techniques. There we have got that is a real-time scenario will be given. The student should be able to create a model regarding the scenario. Then they will be trying to find solutions by means of different optimization techniques and validate the solutions. So one important thing is that development of the model, and also then creating the solutions through the optimization technique. So it can be through this simplex algorithms. It can be through the integer programming. It can be through the dynamic programming. It can be through the transportation algorithm. Different optimization techniques is been taught. So what this one course outcome which I have planned is that the students should be able to appraise. Appraisal means evaluate, isn't it? In the Bloom's taxonomy, it is at the level of evaluate. What? The effectiveness of the optimization technique. Which optimization technique is the effective, isn't it? In the industrial scenario. So totally, if you read it, the students, what they're capable of doing, that is appraise the effectiveness of optimization technique. This is the subject that I was teaching the students, optimization technique. So I am teaching the different optimization technique. So which technique is effective in which context? So the student should be able to evaluate that. So putting together, the learning outcome becomes appraise the effectiveness of the optimization technique in the industry. So if you just divide it, this is what the level that I am taking the students in the learning ladder. He goes from understanding, he goes from remembering, understanding, application, analysis, and then he'll be able to appraise. So what? You'll be able to appraise what? The optimization technique. So optimization technique, you should understand it, then you should apply it, then you should analyze which is the best, and you have to identify the best optimization technique in which context. So I think that is very clear. So now it is the Bloom's taxonomy which help you to identify to what level that you are taking the students in the learning lab. So that is the importance of Bloom's taxonomy. Suppose if I just give something like that, apply the optimization technique, that means he just take the situation, apply, find a solution. But here he analyzes the different optimization technique and he identifies which is the best optimization technique on the basis of the analysis. So he's been giving little more higher. So the 2 or 3 techniques could be adopted in a single scenario, and which is the best technique. Okay, so that is it. So suppose in the level of the computer science, you can write different programs for a unique task. And if the students are able to evaluate which is the best program with respect to the task, that is an evaluation level, isn't it? So they have to analyze and they have to set a remark why it is best. Why? So that is an appraisal level. They are evaluating the different programs set for a different task and identifying which one is best on basis of what rationale. Okay, on basis of what criteria, then we can say that it is an evaluation. So in what context? Industry. If I don't write this context, then this will become a general. Appraise the effectiveness of optimization technique, that becomes a broader outcome. Here I delimited it to the industry, or I can delimit it into a small case like that. So this is how you can write an outcome. So an outcome has got two parts. One, a verb part, what the students are actually able to do, isn't it? And and it should be related to the learning statement, that is the curriculum part that you are handling for attainment of this outcome. That is the learning part. The learning part is optimization technique, and you can delimit it if there is any instance like that. So now I'm just giving you a small instance to, you can just select any learning, any portion that you are handling. Not a big course, any portion that you're handling. And then you can just write an outcome related to that. You can just write. Okay, just take any topic. If you're dealing with a machine learning, you're teaching something. What you're expecting the students to do after completing your task. Uh, don't put it in the chat. Just write it, because just want to introduce you something. I'm just giving you 2 minutes. Okay, don't publish it in the Padlet. I have not shared the Padlet link now with you. You can write it and keep it. Now you can check it whether it is a good practice. You have to first read the first one. This is a good practice because the outcome should be visible. Suppose if you are using the verb like understand, understand is right, but it is not visible. So normally we say that if you have got a better verb rather than writing understand, which is not visible, because we will not be able to see if what the students understand, we have to apply some technique to ensure whether they understand. So the verbs that you adopt for writing outcomes at the lower level, especially the learning outcome or the course level outcome, it will be better if there is some verbs which is available which could be clearly visible, like explains, defines, isn't it? Analyze or paraphrase, illustrate. If you are able to write verbs like that, it is better you can use what the students are capable of doing specifically. The others, it is true, but thing is that it is not visible because the father of the outcome-based education is Paddy. If you just read the books of given by Paddy, it has been very specifically mentioned that the outcomes that you showcase should be clear and vivid and visible, observable and measurable. But we have many instances where we use, especially the understand. There is no wrong in writing understand, especially at the PO level, because we are not directly measuring the PO. And even if you don't have any verbs or comfortable substitute for understand, you can use it. But thing is that if you are getting something more granular to this verb, then you can write that. So you can just check that. To understand means you cannot directly see whether the student is understood. You have to apply some other methods to see what they're performing. So outcome should be what the students are capable of doing should be showcased. So it will be better to write instead of understand. The students are able to explain or describe or illustrate. Likewise, that makes the things more specific. And if you don't have those verbs, okay, you can go with this. There is no. I've told that it is a good practice only. Appreciate, be aware, to learn, like these verbs are which are written in a generic way. So it will be better to make things clear. So outcome and objective, the difference is that objective is vague. To understand is an objective, and outcome is something the objective made clear from the student point of view. That is outcome. So here, I'm just giving few comparisons, few comparisons. The students will understand. Okay, this is okay. The students will understand democracy. Okay, understand democracy. The students will understand democracy. That means I am not be able to that is after teaching, if I want to know whether they have understood the democracy, I have to adopt some testing methods. So this directly do not convey what the students are capable of doing. Here, if I say that the students will describe the major theories of democracy, this will give that what the students are capable of doing, right? So the students will appreciate the forms of culture, appreciate. The students will identify the characteristics of arts from the other culture. So they'll be able to identify, okay, this art form is different, same, like that. The students will learn about the law of relativity. The students will explain the major tenets of relativity. So these things are little more clear, that depict what the students are capable of doing. And this is not a good outcome in the sense it is not making clear what the students are capable of doing. So that is the difference. And also I'm sharing with you a quality check of a good outcome. A quality check of a good outcome. That is, the first thing is that there should be an action verb. There are written using an action verb to specify the definite and observable behavior. So in writing an outcome, there should be a verb. Verb part should be there, like explains, analyze, apply, select, demonstrate. Likewise, there should be a verb, and that verb is preferably, it will be better if you could take it from the set of verbs that comes in the lines of Bloom's taxonomy. So the advantage is that while referring into those verbs that comes under the Bloom's taxonomy, you will be able to understand what is the level of your outcome. The outcome is that to what level that you're going to take the students in the educational ladder, isn't it? With respect to the particular subject. So that particular outcome will set a position where you're going to take the students by your program or by your course. So whether there is a well-defined an outcome which is observable, that is what I told. Understand may not be, its clarity is not there. If you could use identity or something like that, that is observable. Then does the language describe the student target rather than the teacher's target? Obviously, when we write that, objective is something the teacher's point of view, and outcome is something the student's point of view. So outcome should be just you write what the students are capable of doing, like applies such and such things in such and such situations. What the students are capable of doing, apply, or apply what the learning theories to some relevant situations, or analyze something. Likewise, or explain the basic principles, so and so. So like that, what the students are capable of doing. Just put the things in from the student's point of view. Then do the outcome clearly describe the abilities, knowledge, and values of the students of the course. So definitely the outcome, as I've told, that it should be clubbed with the learning outcome. I'm speaking of the learning outcome. It should be clubbed with the action verb together with the learning statement. So the outcome should be tagged with those part of the learning statement to which it is related. So we know that the ability, knowledge, and skills are something the change that we are making in the students. So whether the work is been connected with the learning part to which it is connected. And also the fourth one is that whether there is a very specific indicator for assessing the outcome, that also should be there. So if you are writing an outcome, the outcome should be measurable. So can you devise a mechanism? Either it can be a test, or it can be an activity, or some other procedures by which the outcome could be measured. If all these four criteria are done, then definitely that outcome is a good outcome. So first, whether there is an action verb. Two, whether the outcome is written from the point of view of the student, what they're capable of doing. Three, whether there is a learning part or the area to which the outcome is related is specifically mentioned in that outcome. And fourth, whether there is a clear-cut measuring tool that could be connected with that outcome, or an indicator that could be connected with that outcome by which the outcome could be measured. So these are some of the sample outcomes I have written. In red, it is said that this should be what? This should be the action verb, and this should be the learning statement. Identifies appropriate machine learning algorithms for building classification and prediction models. Then explain the significance of NoSQL with over these relational databases. So design simple applications using JDB, so Java. So develop an image processing application using deep learning architecture. Okay, demonstrate the various clustering techniques. Design various the entity relationship and convert entity relationship diagram into relational databases. Use suitable control structures for array for developing codes in C. Design algorithms for employing MapReduce techniques for solving big data problems. Just few examples. Analyze different HTML elements and style sheet required for designing web pages. Some these outcomes that I have collected from different areas of databases, machine learning, Java, etc., big data like that. So just to showcase that the outcome should have what the students are capable of doing is written. What the students are capable of doing is written. There should be an action verb, and these action verbs are taken from Bloom's taxonomy, and there should be the learning part connected to that, isn't it? So these are some examples for the outcome. So that is all for the first section, and I think I have taken about 10 minutes additional. So let us have, if you have some queries, you can just ask it now, and we can come back at what time? Now it is 8:35. 8:35. The second section I will go a little faster.